have to be completely honest with you. This is something that I actually learned to do by accident. As I was building my brand on Pinterest, I started to notice this spike in the amount of stores and retailers that were contacting me about carrying my line. So I, kind of stepped away, looked at where that traffic was coming from, kind of asked them, how they'd come across my line, and the resounding answer was Pinterest. And I realized that when I created my luxury monograms, my business Pinterest account, I was starting to follow and engage with a lot of people in my direct business industry. So I was engaging with, different interior design bloggers, different people that owned stores that featured or sold to interior designers. I was following actual designers or people that had showrooms. And so by doing that, just because I realized that I shared an audience with them, I was then being introduced. They were seeing my brand and my products for the first time, and thus started to reach out to me and ask about carrying my line. So I decided to break down how to get Pinterest, or how to use Pinterest to get your product into stores, with 4 distinct steps. And the first thing, like I said, is simply to follow and engage with the right people. You should have a very good understanding of kind of the boundaries of your industry, the type of people that are in it, the tastemakers, the people who other people look up to get new information and new ideas and inspiration. And you really want to get your product and your brand in front of them so that they can see the value and hopefully share that message with all of their followers. So very important to sit back, think about it for a few minutes. What are the major large retailers, brands, buyers, curators, bloggers, anyone that really has a sphere of influence, and make sure that maybe not aggressively, not in their face, not emailing them, hey, do you like my line? But start engaging with them in the general platform of Pinterest so that you get that exposure very organically and authentically. And the second thing is that you want to build your page to be very professional and also eye-catching. And this is important because once you do attract a little bit of attention, maybe by commenting on someone's pin or repinning something and they're seeing that activity, when they come to your page, you want them to be impressed. You have to remember, this is a professional connection you're making. This is someone who is looking for a professional relationship. You want your company to come off as something of quality and value. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing, it is going to relay that sort of message. So that takes me directly into part 3. You really want to feature fabulous product photography. If you are selling products or goods, or you're designing, or whatever your service industry is, Pinterest is all about images. So if you have images that are poorly lit, I'm not saying you have to go spend thousands of dollars on photography, but even if it is more quality versus quantity, you need to make sure that to sell your products, they look very visually engaging, because that is the best way to really attract attention and perpetuate or expect people to repin that, is that it has to be very visually gripping and of excellent quality. And then the fourth way to kind of seal the deal is after you've followed, you've engaged with them, they've come to your page, you've got a great looking product logo on there, you've got a great description about your company, maybe you've got some featured press. I'm going to be showing you how to do this with all your boards in the upcoming modules. They see your product and it looks great, and it's a great photo, and they're impressed. You look like a legitimate brand that knows what you're doing. Have a wholesale board. So actually create a specific board on your Pinterest account that has information about your program. Maybe you have certain minimums for buyers. If there's a process of how they should go ahead and set up an account, if they need to submit something to someone, be creative. I mean, you really want this to be a portfolio for your brand. Think of a fun way you could showcase, specific instructions about if they are interested in becoming a buyer, because the easier you can make the process for them, the more likely they are going to want to pick up your brand. Because you have to remember, a lot of them are, they're business owners. They may be the only person in their business, and they have very limited time and resources. So the easier you can make it, and the easier their decision to carry your line, and the easier the actual setup process, the more likely you're going to be able to get your line into their stores.